2 days before Christmas, I got a text from my parents, "Better if Laura doesn't show up." My heart sank. That's my sister, my childhood best friend, or so I thought. But I wasn't about to vanish quietly. Stick with me while I share my story, and if it touches you, don't forget to support our channel by hitting that subscribe button, dropping a like, and sharing it with the people you care about. I'm Tessa. I've always been independent and driven. I don't back down, especially when family drama tries to bury me. My sister, Laura, has always been manipulative, charming everyone around her while I stayed in the shadows. That Christmas, the tension in our small town home was thick. My parents siding with Laura hit me hard. I felt shocked, hurt, and angry all at once. But deep down, I knew I couldn't let this betrayal go unanswered. It became clear that my parents had favorites. Every little thing Laura did was praised, from her perfect grades to her amazing holiday plans, while my efforts were barely noticed. It stung more than I expected. Laura smiled and whispered, "Mom and Dad just don't want any drama this Christmas. Relax." Her words were meant to calm me, but they only made me feel smaller. I realized she was twisting the truth, trying to make me doubt myself. The unfairness burned inside me, but I wasn't going to stay quiet. I began thinking of ways to speak up, to make my voice matter in my own family. Luckily, I wasn't entirely alone. My cousin Eli noticed everything. He gave me small nods of support, reminders that someone else saw the truth. With him by my side, I started feeling strength I didn't know I had. On Christmas Eve, I made up my mind, I wouldn't let anyone humiliate me without a fight. The air felt heavy with tension, but I needed to act carefully. I spent hours quietly collecting little proofs of Laura's selfishness, forgotten promises, times she twisted stories, moments she took credit for things I did. Each memory cut deeper than the last, reminding me of all the times I had been overlooked. Sadness and anger swirled together inside me. I felt the sting of years of betrayal, but I refused to let it control me. Instead, I let it fuel my focus. By the time the night grew late, I had a plan forming in my mind. It wasn't reckless or loud, it was clever and quiet, a way to make Laura's true nature clear without anyone suspecting my intentions. This Christmas, I would finally take back control. While organizing some old family documents, I stumbled across hints that Laura had been bending the truth for her gain. She wanted more than attention, she was angling for a share of the inheritance, carefully twisting facts to look innocent. Jace, her boyfriend, always so polite and charming, suddenly made sense. He wasn't just along for the holidays, he was helping her cover her tracks, smoothing over every suspicious moment with a smile. My stomach twisted as I realized how clever they both were. Without solid proof, my parents might never understand the reality. They could continue believing Laura's version, leaving me trapped in silence. Anger and frustration mixed with determination. I knew I had to be patient, watch carefully, and act at the right moment. The pieces were coming together, and when the time was right, my careful plan would finally expose Laura and Jace, and this Christmas would not be what they expected. I took a deep breath and decided it was time to speak up. "I've always loved you," I said softly, "but I can't let lies replace the truth." My words hung in the room, fragile but firm. My parents flinched, clearly uncomfortable. Instead of listening, they tried to defend Laura, brushing off my concerns as if I were overreacting. Their favoritism was obvious, and for a moment, I felt completely invisible. A wave of sadness hit me, but I didn't let it break me. Instead, I focused on the clarity it gave me. Every slight, every injustice, every ignored effort became fuel. In that tense silence, I began to see a path forward. I would show them the truth, but carefully, without anger getting in the way. A quiet, precise plan started forming, a way to reclaim my voice and expose the lies once and for all. I began setting things in motion without anyone noticing. Every story I told, every memory I shared, was carefully chosen to hint at the truth about Laura without pointing fingers directly. Small discoveries from the past, moments long forgotten, started resurfacing in conversations, planting seeds of doubt. The air grew tense. Laura shifted nervously, her usual confidence cracking as she sensed I wasn't going to remain silent. Her smile seemed forced, and even Jace looked uneasy, as if realizing the walls were closing in. Aunt Marcy quietly observed everything. She had always seen me clearly, always understood the unfairness I faced. Her subtle nods of support gave me courage. I moved carefully, weaving my subtle revelations into everyday chatter, letting family members notice inconsistencies themselves. Each small detail built toward the moment when the truth could no longer be ignored. This was my silent revenge, patient, clever, and unstoppable. During the Christmas gathering, everything looked normal on the surface. I waited for the right moment, letting the warmth and chatter mask what was about to unfold. One by one, I shared small stories and details I had gathered over the weeks. Each anecdote hinted at Laura's selfishness, her ways of bending situations to her favor, and the lies she had spun to appear perfect. The pieces fit together seamlessly, forming a picture no one could ignore. My parents' faces drained of color as reality hit them. Shock and guilt replaced their earlier smiles, and the weight of truth made the room heavy. Laura tried desperately to rewrite events, her voice trembling as she attempted to protect herself. I stayed calm, letting the facts speak for themselves. Each revelation landed exactly where it needed to, and for the first time, Laura could no longer control the narrative. The balance had shifted, and the family saw the truth clearly. I never wanted to humiliate Laura. I knew her pride would crumble on its own once the truth was seen. So I stayed composed, letting the details I revealed speak louder than any accusation. Slowly, her polished image began to fall apart. The lies, the selfish choices, and the ways she had twisted situations could no longer be hidden. Family members exchanged quiet, shocked glances, realizing how carefully Laura had manipulated everything around her. My parents' eyes opened to what they had ignored for years, the favoritism, the blind trust, and the betrayals they had overlooked. Their shame was evident, and I could feel a heavy tension lift as clarity replaced denial. A calm satisfaction settled inside me. I had reclaimed my dignity and proved the truth without losing my integrity. Even in victory, I chose compassion over cruelty, showing that strength didn't need to hurt anyone unnecessarily. For the first time, I felt fully seen. After the chaos settled, I found quiet moments to think about everything that had happened. The hurt, the betrayals, and the long years of being overlooked weighed on me, but I also saw how much I had grown. My parents started to reach out differently, cautiously trying to repair what had been broken. I welcomed it, but I made sure to protect myself, setting clear limits so history wouldn't repeat itself. Aunt Marcy and Eli stayed close, offering support without needing to be asked. Their steady presence reminded me that I wasn't alone, that family could exist beyond favoritism and lies. Through it all, I realized something important: standing up for yourself doesn't require cruelty. Speaking truth, defending yourself, and holding others accountable can be done with strength and dignity. That Christmas left its scars, but it also left lessons I would carry forever. I had finally found my voice, and my peace. After the dust settled, Laura approached me, her voice soft and uncertain. She offered an apology, but I could see it wasn't enough. Some wounds run too deep to be erased with words, and I knew this was one of them. Christmas ended quietly, but for me, it carried a strange mix of emotions. Sadness for the years lost, yes, but also a deep sense of empowerment. I had stood my ground, faced betrayal, and emerged with my dignity intact. Confidence replaced the fear that had shadowed me for so long. I realized the truth about revenge: it doesn't have to destroy anyone. Surviving, thriving, and showing your strength is far more powerful than any act of vengeance. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you loved? Think about that as you move forward, and stick around, because real-life stories like mine remind us that even the hardest betrayals can teach us how to rise. Do you think I did the right thing by keeping my distance from Laura, or should I have given her another chance? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.